There's just one.
Mic checks echo, I'm the sound of the brawl. Canvas creaks, flesh slaps, bodies rise and fall. Steel cage dreams, no escape. All pain, blood stains mixed with the sweat and the chain. Adrenaline surging my veins, spit fire. Crowd chants feeding my soul's desire. Turnbuckles tremble when my wrath collides. Glory's the belt and I'm taking the pride. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Pyros ignite, shadows dance in the glow. Ringside roar, it's a gladiator show. Chokeholds tighter than the grip of the night. Climbing the ropes to new championship heights. The mental battlefield, no room for doubt. Every move calculated, every scream a shout. The bell tolls louder than a sinner's regret. This is the place where the bold never forget. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Boom. The squared circle where legends collide. Boom. No mercy, just a wild ride. Boom. Lights flash, fist clash, can't resist. Boom. The squared circle digest. Circle Digest!
Oh, we are live. It is Wednesday. It is 7 p. The place to be. It is the Squared Circle Digest. I am Sean Stanley. As always, joined by the great Frankie Fresco. How we doing, sir?
I don't think I'm online. I can't see myself.
I see you perfectly.
Really? Let me go out and then come back because I don't see myself.
All right. Well, then, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Sean Stanley. Frankie Fresco is about to disappear, and when he comes back, he will be on the screen. We hope. We already got the chat going. Papa's in as well as Adrian, and Frankie Fresco is back.
I can't. I don't see myself. It says offline on my area. I don't know why. I'm gonna send you a picture of what.
Does anybody see Frankie? Does he exist? Is he John Cena? You can't see me.
Hold on, it's so funny. I'm looking at the stream right now on YouTube, and I could see you guys can see me, but
yeah, I see you.
For some strange reason on my end, I can't see myself. Look, I'm gonna send you a photo of what I am seeing, which is crazy. But okay, I guess again, it's just It's been that kind of way with me. It just sucks. It sucks because things keep getting worse and worse when it comes to me and my freaking situation here. So check your phone whenever you get a chance. I just texted you. I can't even see myself.
Waiting for it to come in now, but yeah, but you're there, man. I just checked X to make sure as well. You're coming across, man. You're there. The yellow outline, everything, buddy.
Yeah, I see myself there. I do see myself, so I guess I'm ready to go. I apologize, guys. I really apologize, and I'm sorry about last week. Unfortunately, last week the situation that happened was your boy Frankie Fresco was involved in a serious injury. You guys know that I play soccer, and I took a really, really bad hit on my forehead. And I had a huge hematoma right here. Not a lot of people have seen it. I've been hidden. I've been like kind of staying very, very like hidden. I don't want people to notice it. And then obviously just putting on a lot of, ice bag and like an ice pack to help me, obviously the swelling go down. It has gone down drastically, but unfortunately it ran into my right eye. So I don't know if you guys can see, but I still have kind of a little bit of a black eye. It's gotten a lot better compared to where I was, but I had to DJ a wedding on Saturday, which was funny. And I mean, look, guys, you guys could judge me. I'm an open book. I'm transparent. I had to go. I reached out to my mom. I said, "Mom, can you help me out here, bro? I need to put something on my eye that way I could kind of like this. That way people can't notice that I have a black eye." So she
Yeah.
helped me. She put me some makeup on. So you can call me gay. You can call me whatever, but you gotta
No,
do.
dude, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta
gotta
get that
do-
money, man.
You gotta do
Oh.
what you gotta do. So I went ahead and she put some makeup on my right eye, and it didn't look so bad. It looked pretty good. It looked pretty, and my glasses do cover it a lot, so
Yeah.
I was able to kind of like work around it, and thankfully, I was able to do the DJ gig, and everything went well. But I don't know if you notice it, but if you do see, of course, Adrian, um, you're gonna see that my right eye is a little bit dark, and that's because of the bruising. So hopefully by the end of this week, hopefully by Friday, it should be 90% better. I hope. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully, man. Hopefully.
But yeah.
We got besides you getting knocked around, we had a pretty good week of wrestling as well. We got an AEW pay-per-view that we'll talk about. I will tell you right now, I've seen bits and pieces of it. I did not
You
get
didn't
a chance to watch the whole thing because I was busy getting my ass kicked in bowling this Sunday, by the way. Yes.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
where were you?
Yeah. Adrian kicked my ass in bowling this weekend. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
to Adrian. Thank
Yeah.
you, Adrian. I know he invited me to go
Yeah.
also, but unfortunately, because of my injury, I didn't. I decided to stay home and
Yeah, he had home field advantage. We played on these dude. It was crazy. I was curving the ball, and there was so much oil on the lanes, or maybe so less oil. My ball wasn't even making it down the lane. It was getting right in the gutter.
wow.
I did a strong 61 and a 63, I believe, was the finals there. But yeah,
Jesus,
it wasn't good at all.
That's not typical of you.
No, man, no, bro. Like I couldn't figure those lanes out at all. Not that I'm good at anyways, but yeah, I'm usually good for a good 100 at least.
I think Adrian must have done something to the lane for you.
No,
bro.
they were having problems too. It was crazy. Like even with the plastic ball rolling it would do right into the gutter, right into the gutter, right into the gutter. It was crazy, man. Crazy.
I don't know. I don't believe Adrian. He's the type of guy that would go the extra mile just to sneaky try to sabotage you and not let you win.
You think I thought it was you that would do that, and lie to us about how much bowling experience we got, and then come out in the afterwards and be like, "Yeah, guys, just kidding, just kidding." I've been in league for 27 years, man. I'm good.
Well, I haven't been playing bowling all my life, but I played in the league here and there, but not as like you.
Yeah.
So
Yep. All right, let's dive into it. WWE, AEW talk. Jump in on the chat. If you're watching us on X or Twitch, jump over to the YouTube channels. We got two you can choose from, Frankie Fresco or Stanley Media House Network. Either one of those you can jump on, hit the subscribe, jump over to the other one, hit the subscribe, the likes, notifications, and everything. Every Tuesday/Wednesday, we are here on the air talking the world of wrestling. WWE lately has they've been referencing a lot of AEW, more so Chris Jericho, but CM Punk did reference some people too. And now it's got people and conspiracy theorists thinking Chris Jericho's on the way. And why I say that is Seth this week, he said, I allowed you in my inner circle. Conspiracy theorists thinking, uh-oh, look, I hear myself. The voices are in my head.
my bad.
Punk used a thing of saying you're under the learning tree. Punk also said you just made the list. And then also, while he was doing the whole thing, he said, I'm not going to call you Joe because my favorite Samoan is named Joe. Speaking of Samoa Joe. So, Frankie, a little lax there on now releasing more, or is it a manipulated usage of AEW references?
I mean, I don't know, dude. Like it was interesting the way that they're using AEW references. Shout out to Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
I think it's his birthday, right? Wasn't it his birthday?
Yesterday.
Yeah, so maybe that's why he referenced him. And then when it comes to Chris Jericho, it's just a matter of time before Chris Jericho
Yeah.
makes his way to WWE. So that, these references are pretty, I guess, cool, I guess, in a way. I just thought the promo kind of sucked. I thought it was terrible promo. And we spoke about this 2 weeks ago when I told you, I was like, what are they gonna do? And I thought it was kind of lackluster, man. I know that CM Punk laid out Roman, but you didn't get them to. I mean, look, man. CM Punk got mad because he called him old. Like, that's kind
Well,
of.
you know what the original creative was for, right?
What was it? Tell us.
For him to go after Larry.
Why didn't they do that?
Because I just don't think that it's.
Punk didn't give the okay?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that's a touchy situation, man. That would. If you go after Larry, I think it's more than just one punch and I stand away.
That's what they should have done.
With the relationship that they had, like Larry and CM Punk, that it is. Look, I'm a dog person. I love my dogs. I'm not flying them with me or bringing them on a bus all the time with them to travel and everything else necessarily. But again, he sat at home with the Larry for a few years, so maybe that they got that there. But I don't mind the whole thing. I just think. I don't think the feud needs all these personal attacks. I feel like the personal attacks are to get them to WrestleMania because now he's basically got the whole Samoan dynasty after him. So now you can get CM Punk versus Jey Uso, CM Punk versus Jimmy Uso. Since Roman's not going to be at every Raw, the Raws Roman's not at, you'll probably see them battle each other trying to, for Sika's name. And I feel like this was just a concerted effort to try to get to Mania because I don't think they needed any of this for the match. The story itself is if they just told the story of CM Punk and Roman Reigns, it sells itself to me. And again, maybe I'm wrong, but to me, the two of them, what they've done. Even, just the bloodline angle, the CM Punk with the pipe bomb and all that stuff. I feel like you could have done a better story than having to go after, I'm going to make you, I'm going to bury you next to your dad. That just feels like so forced and so desperate to me.
Yeah, I mean, if he went after, obviously he went after his dad, but I mean, he took a low blow by going after that, but the only way you could compensate for that is going after the dog. That's why I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't do it. Like if it's CM Punk,
maybe they hold off. Maybe it's like too soon. Let's do it as he gets closer. Because to me, again, as I said, with the relationship that Larry and CM Punk had, I feel like you're gonna have to drag me off of beating you down. That's not one punch and then I stand over you or I stand back like, you got in my head. That's an attack.
Well, then don't use that you're old because it was lackluster. It sucked. It wasn't a good. You got pissed off because somebody's calling you.
Well,
old?
it's where he always said he told Roman, "I'm in your head." By the end of that segment, Roman was in his head.
Because he told him that he was old.
He's old. Yeah, but again, that's the dynamic of the angle was, maybe, for Roman, it's, you think you're in control. I'm going to show you I'm in control.
Again,
and by the end of the segment, you saw that Roman was in control. He was smiling. He's laughing. He's getting up. He's like, who's in whose head? Exactly what he wanted to do.
But that was ass. That wasn't good. It was. I mean, I know
you still got 5 weeks, bro. Like that's what. Like,
I understand.
I feel like they're so desperate because everybody's talking about ticket sales and this and that. Dude, right now they're just gonna. I mean, with what they've already sold, they've probably beat last year's gate, and now they're just papering whatever's left. But they've gotten desperate. I mean, let's just go ahead and start with the WrestleMania. Let's throw out what we were going to talk about at the beginning now. Let's just start with the WrestleMania 42 build here. Because I feel like this is desperation. Like I can't believe that this was where they were going to go as quickly, I guess, is what I mean by. I mean, I'm not going to say Orton, Cody Rhodes wasn't the penciled in for WrestleMania, but the attack that happens 6 weeks out from WrestleMania, why? Then you have Randy Orton come on Raw. Michael Cole's like, hey, Randy Orton's going to give us some time. He's talking to somebody. Yeah. Now it's this mystery caller. And now all of a sudden you got that involved in this. Like, how much are we, like, how desperate are we going to get here to try to sell some tickets? You already have 39,000, 40,000 people there. Like, you're 31.6% off on 316 days. I mean, it's getting desperate to me, what's happening here. And we won't even get into what started the show. We'll get into that in a little bit. But that was even, to me, again, a move that I thought and we thought was going to happen, but felt desperate the way it went down.
Here's the issue with I have with the WrestleMania card right now. And Adrian points out that there was a lot of injuries. They had to change the card and all that stuff. When you have good people who are making good storylines, you could make a left turn and make it relevant and make it entertaining. I'm not going to go ahead and give them a pass just because there was a lot of injuries. So they had to go ahead and obviously the storylines that they came up with suck. No, I like the matches. The matches are not bad. CM Punk versus Roman is a very good, entertaining match that a lot of people want to watch. Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, a very good fight that a lot of people want to watch, and the remaining other bouts that have been announced. The issue here is you're desperately promoting it like crazy. Why does Randy have to go to that extreme with 5 weeks to go for WrestleMania? Like, it makes no sense. Like, why are you trying to, like, how would you say it? Force the situation. You're forcing the situation. You're not making it natural. You're not making it seem like, yo, all of a sudden we're good. We're able to just let it flow by itself. No, you're pushing it so much that it's making it lackluster. It's making it kind of like, all right, man, who cares? Like, I don't care now. Like, I really let's just get to WrestleMania and call it a day. Like, I think they should focus more on now building up the rest of the card and then just putting little promos here and there just to promote the main card. But they're not going to do that. They're going to always bring out Roman Reigns when he's on at the location, when he's at a Monday night. They're going to push now Randy, and look what, I mean, people are saying, hey, The Rock was talking to Randy Orton. Maybe not, that could be a gimmick, or that could be another story that they want to put out there, that The Rock is going to get involved. Again, they're forcing it, and I don't find it entertaining. I find it very, very sad, and it's disappointing because, like, didn't Road Dogg quit? I think Road Dogg quit, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, they're going to be quitting, bro. You can't do this. Look, man, I get that the creative is a very pressure-filled situation. You have to come up with stories for all these men and women and tag teams and everything else and make them make sense. But then you get the added pressure of TKO being, well, if we're paying this guy, we need him to do this and that guy needs to be there, and this guy needs to be there, and this. I feel like they're pushing things up that doesn't need to happen right away. Like there's things like, look, you could have done Cody versus Randy regular at I mean, I get it. It would be along the same lines of Cena turning on him. But why not just do that? Like, why is Randy, I guess the question would be, is the angle going to be Randy's so worried that Cody's going to beat him that he's got to go to these devious measures just to win his 15th title?
I don't know, man.
Like, it just odd to me that, and again, here's the other thing that's odd to me. What does WWE do? Everybody's like, oh, TKO's so upset about the ticket sales and this and that. You know what they did this week?
What?
They were 3,000 short of their 41,000. They sold 2,000 seats this week. So you know what they did? They opened up 2,000 more.
What a bunch of dicks.
Now they're at 44,000 instead of 42,000.
Yeah, because the people took advantage of the 316, the 31.6%
Yeah.
discount. So
Yeah, but really all you're doing is getting the tickets for the prices you would have paid normal. That's the thing. It's like nobody they're not giving you any deal on whatever. They're just selling the tickets for what they probably should be going for.
yeah, and
You
they're
know what
ready.
I'm saying? They're not.
And not to mention, a lot of people are probably pissed off because the people who bought the tickets originally,
Yeah.
all of a sudden are like, damn, I could have gotten it cheaper. Because now.
Which is what people are learning about the way TKO does business. That's why ticket sales aren't so good at the beginning. Because they've learned TKO's thing. They throw out 20,000 tickets at $20,000 a piece. People buy as many as they can, and then they drop the price as you get closer, just like they do with UFC.
Yeah, and then people are gonna catch on where they're gonna
They
be like,
have.
okay, let's not buy tickets at the beginning. Let's wait till the last minute that they're gonna get desperate and they're gonna go ahead and eventually just lower the prices. They're gonna do some type of discount for it, and then you take advantage of that discount because that's the only way you gotta do it. Like I looked at the prices at 31.6% discount. I was like, okay, let me take I didn't look at WrestleMania, I look at Backlash's tickets. Because Backlash is still they haven't sold that many tickets on Backlash. I can
No,
tell.
because everybody's gonna wait till do this after you watching. If you watch what they did at WrestleMania and you buy tickets opening time, you deserve what you get. That's all I'm gonna say with that.
All day. And then again, now when it comes to building up the matches for this WrestleMania, it's disappointing because, like I said, it's very like forced by everything. And here we go with obviously the Paul Heyman and the Brock Lesnar and the Obafemi, and then building this crap up, and it's just like, man, how much are you guys doing here? How much are you guys trying to go ahead and force it on the fans to desperately go by? Because at the end of the day, bro, I'm not so excited about WrestleMania. This is the first time in a while that I'm not excited about a WrestleMania, bro.
I don't really. I mean, I don't really get excited about PLEs or pay-per-views and things like that. I mean, I like when they do the storylines longer. Like this one, I feel is almost as if they don't know what they really want to do. They're keeping everything open. It's not, like before, you knew, okay, Cody's winning the title at 40, at 40, you knew Cena was probably winning the title at 41. This year you look at it and you say, does Roman beat Punk? Does Randy beat Cody? Or does Cody beat Randy and Punk beat? It's not necessarily any of the big, the men's titles necessarily will change hands here. Now I think Randy will win, because I think Cody's better chasing than as a champion, honestly. I mean, I hate to say it. And I know the Cody haters will hate that, because then he'll be chasing for the title all the time. But I think it adds to more of the show and when he's chasing than when he's the champion. I mean, now did he deserve that beatdown he got there? It's this close, like, and then, all because, he was like, how did he word it? I know the voices in your head are saying this, but I want to say thank you for all whatever. And then, he was like, it was supposed to be easy, because he wanted to be Drew. He didn't want to have to do this to Cody. He wanted to do this to Drew.
Yeah.
But Cody took that away from him by beating Drew. And again,
well, it's not his fault. They put him on that match.
Yeah, but the thing is, I guess apparently Drew is going to film Highlander right after WrestleMania.
Okay.
So I think that and again, and now people are like, well, they just wanted Cody to chase it during Royal Rumble and in the chamber, and then he was, however you want to hear it. I don't know what the whole thing is there, but that's where they took the title off of him when they did, because they wanted Drew to have the title and Cody to kind of chase it for the 2 months leading up to WrestleMania. He was always supposedly supposed to have the title and go in to face Orton at WrestleMania, if that's what you want to believe. I don't know, man. I personally think a 4-way match would have been better for me than what we're getting here, because then you don't have to do the change so quickly with Randy. Like, yes, he snapped, and then he's got a phone call. Like, if it's not Aleister Black, honestly, none of this makes sense, because Aleister Black has been the one on SmackDown telling him, listen to the voices in your head. Do this, do that, listen to this, listen to that. And I get it. At the end, he says there's more than one royal family in wrestling. So that tells me, like, there's only a few people it could be, if you look at it that way.
Yeah. So who would be his royal family?
It could be his dad, Cowboy Bob Orton. If you want to go family, Orton family. It could be there. I've seen all these things come out, but when you say the royal family, it makes you think: could it be Shane McMahon?
How would be?
Because Cody's whole thing with there's more than one royal family in wrestling was a shot at Vince McMahon.
Mm.
And the McMahons, there's more than one royal family in wrestling. Boom. And then I like Bully Ray's idea. I just don't know that WWE could pull it off and have it be Charlotte Flair. So you have Flair and Orton together and get Charlotte out of this whole thing. If you're not going to turn her and have her face Alexa Bliss, just stop whatever the hell that's going on over there on SmackDown.
So kind of make like families from wrestling, like combined with Randy Orton.
Well, yeah, they're doing that in NXT.
Kind of like what about if you put Natty and the Hart?
I mean, it could be the Hart family. That could be too. That's a good one as well. Yeah, but it's got to be like somebody like that though, if you're gonna say that line, because you can't do like that and then bring out William Regal's son. Which nothing against them, but again, the Regal name doesn't hold that royalty like Flair, Rhodes, McMahon. Now Randy Orton, Cowboy Bob Orton, his father. So there's parts of it, but again, you've added that in 2 days. It feels desperate. On SmackDown, Randy snaps. On Monday, he's on a phone call with somebody secret. You didn't even give it a week to sit.
No. And
now you've got 5 weeks of building it. And if I'm Cody Rhodes, dude, you got laid out. As soon as you're able to, Randy Orton's got to pay for what he did. I'm not waiting till WrestleMania. That makes no sense. If you play it out that way, unless he's off TV until WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be off.
Then you can do that.
I don't think he'll be off TV, but he definitely could be at least off for maybe a week or two. Probably they could buy some time.
I mean,
but I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to do that.
I don't either. I feel like they're in desperation mode when they don't need to be. They've sold 40. There's only like 1,100 seats of that. I mean, what? You're way over whatever last year's total was, because I saw the seats. That the price of the seats in the front row were going for $35,000 to $75,000 a piece.
Yep.
I mean, how much? What do you need to sell? Like, and then as soon as you get to close to what you were selling, now you've added more seats and more sections. Like, again, the greed doesn't stop.
It's just really bad when it comes to that greed, and it also tells the wrestling fans, this is how greedy you are. So you know what? You're gonna make us, or you want to take advantage of us. And I think the wrestling fans are gonna catch on, man. And I think they're gonna stop buying tickets and just go ahead and make TKO sweat it out a little bit and be like, "Yo, we're not buying tickets." Like, and again, I think the first sign of it is Backlash. If you start looking at the ticket sales for Backlash, they're really bad. They're not good.
No, they're
Right.
bad, but how much of the big time money tickets are gone? The first few rows, because that's where they make their money. They don't care about the upper deck and all that stuff. They'll lose money there. If you're paying $20,000 and the whole front row gets sold out, I mean, there's probably what 40 chairs right there at $20,000 a piece. That's what $800,000 right there just for the front row.
Not to mention that Las Vegas paid for the venue and everything. They're not WWE's not even getting charged for that.
No, exactly.
So it's like they got that whole event is free for them pretty much.
Yes, and
Las-
Vegas pays them and gives them the stadium. Like, I mean, they're not losing money, people. Like, that's what it cracks me up when they're like, "Oh, ticket sales are so bad." No, ticket sales are going. Look, the model for WWE TKO has changed. It's all about getting the most bang for your buck, and then slowly, and like you said, the only way it's going to change is when tickets get so bad that people are wait till the very end. Like whole thing, the Vegas blackout, right? They waited up to a month before the show, or a little bit over a month before the show gets there, and then they're like, "Oh, blackout's lifted."
Well, that's another thing. It also affects Las Vegas in the sense that if they don't take out that blackout, a lot of people are not even going to travel to.
They did. They took it out already. It's been dropped.
Really?
Yeah, there's bars and stuff that were promoting that they're going to have WrestleMania.
Oh wow, that's news.
Now, I don't know if they had to pay a price to WWE, but there's a few bars and things that are saying they're going to have the WrestleMania that had been lifted.
It has to. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. At the end of the day, WWE is not the only one that makes a profit out there. I mean, all these indie shows go over there. There's multiple shows. There's
Bro, do you
clubs.
think WWE TKO? I mean, WWE maybe, but TKO, WWE under the TKO banner, they can care less about those groups.
Oh yeah, I agree. But
I mean,
when it comes to the city of Las Vegas, I would understand if the hotels, the bars, and all those people complain, saying, "Hey, man, you're bringing this over with the expectation that we're gonna all make money, and now nobody's making money, only TKO." So,
yeah,
and again,
too
they're
late
not
now.
gonna-
You already paid your money. Just don't bid next year. The next time, don't bid. But again, I think that was all a ploy. It was all a thing to make it look like, okay, because again, they got desperate, man. The only match that I feel like is getting a good enough build, honestly, right now is Rhea and Jade.
Yes.
Because they're slow walking it, both of them. And again, Jade's promos, a little bit rough at times, but she's getting her point across. And Rhea at the same time. I don't want them to touch. The only time I want them to touch is about 3 weeks maybe before
Yes.
WrestleMania. And then Jade lays out Rhea. And then when Rhea tries to get revenge, she goes every time she ducks out, and then they meet at WrestleMania.
What's up, Ryder?
Yeah, right. How you doing, sir? No doubt. Also, I saw you in there.
Let's see you guys. Here's the issue with the whole Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. They're making Jade look soft out there, bro. They made her this huge storm, this huge thing. Rhea comes out, challenges her, and then Jade just walks on, be like, "Nah, I'm not touching you," and all that stuff. Like, yeah, whatever, bro. Like, they're making her look weak, and she's the champion.
Champ. Yeah, she's the champ, though. I'll get you when I have to get you. I don't need to. Why do I need to go after?
It just looks like it looks. She's coming. They're coming across like if like Jade is afraid of Rhea Ripley. That's what I'm getting from it. That's what I don't like about.
Oh, she's
them
outside
right
the
now.
ring laughing like when Rhea said, "I'm gonna make you my bitch." She was like, "Ha ha! I see what you did."
Nah,
They're mocking her, man. It's an old heel trick. I mean, it's the oldest heel trick in the book.
I get it. But for me, I just feel like they're putting her. It just seems like, to be real honest with you, the only thing that holds Jade is that she has the belt, because it really does feel like Rhea Ripley has the upper hand no matter what in this match, and it looks like she just dominates Jade when it comes to this promos and to selling this fight. It just looks very.
Well, no,
very,
it's true though. Jade has a long way to go on the mic, but she is at least, pulling the part to where she is talking the talk with Rhea there, So for me, I think the whole thing is one of these times Rhea is going to think, oh, okay, she's going to leave again. And then Jade's just going to nail her from behind and take her out. Because she's, setting her up. I've always left. And then bam.
Here's the problem, Sean. They have been building Jade like a powerhouse. She destroyed, at one point in time, Meechin. She destroyed the other girl. I forgot her name. Tiffany Stratton's match against her. She took 5 seconds to kick her ass. And now you're afraid. Now you're walking away from Rhea Ripley and all that stuff. It just seems bad. It does not seem like good way.
Well, she said, "I respect you," so she's giving her the respect.
Again, man, the vibe I'm getting from you is that you're actually agreeing and feeling like this is good. For me, it isn't. For me, it's lackluster. For me, it seems like bad promos. Bad way of selling the fight. Now, granted, again, I think the fights are not bad, but I think the way they're selling the fights are not the right way.
But you can't have everybody coming out and killing everybody and punching everybody and fighting. Like, what do you want them to do though? Then what would make this part be better for you? Because to me, the slow walk and the respect that they supposedly have for each other, and that you slowly seeing it get rid of by Rhea this week, because Jade Cargill said to everybody, "I'm the one that's on top." Supposedly Jade didn't know Rhea was there. Then Rhea's music hits, and then she comes out. She does her, as she gets out, Jade calmly leaves the ring, and then Rhea grabs the mic and tells her,
I guess from my side, the way I would do it differently is if I was Jade, I would have more of like a swagger on my end, not being feared of you want to fight, because Rhea's challenging her and she's just backing down and saying, I'm leaving. No, that's not what I want from you. You're the champion. You should be like, I don't have time to waste against you. I'm the champion. I'm who I am. I don't need to fight you.
That's what she does when she walks away, though. Like, I don't.
No.
She didn't run. Like, she ain't powdering out and leaving.
It looks like Jade Cargill is afraid. Like, she's walking away and afraid from getting hit by Rhea Ripley. That's what I'm getting from it. I don't see her either. It's the way the promo is being told by Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley, or the way they're telling them to do the promo. For me, it doesn't feel like it's an even match. It feels like Rhea Ripley already has the upper hand on Jade Cargill, and Jade Cargill is the champion. That's why I'm like, man, what is this? Like, again, it's not selling me where I'm like, yo, this is really good.
Go ahead, go finish. Sorry.
No, I mean, and again, it's just something that I feel like needs work. I don't think they're doing it right. I would have thought that they would have had them in equal levels. And the reason I say equal levels is because of the way they brought Jade ever since she beat Tiffany Stratton. They made her like a beast. Like, she's not afraid of anybody. She's the baddest bee in the world and all this stuff. But then all of a sudden, it looks like you're afraid of Rhea Ripley. Like, who is Rhea Ripley? You've been walking through everybody. Screw Rhea Ripley. You're the champion. I don't need to waste my time on you. That's the way I think she should carry herself. Now, I don't know if that's the way the promo is or if it's on her, but I think the way she should be carrying it is like saying, look, I don't have to waste my time on you. I'm the champion. Walk away. You get out of my ring. Push her. Make her feel that, hey, look, you're nothing compared to me. You were the past. I am the present. I don't think they're selling that. I think what they're selling is, hey, Rhea Ripley is bigger. I'm going to kick your ass, Jade. And Jade is like, ha, 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 I'm the champion. I'm just going to walk away. You're not going to touch me because I got the upper hand. Upper hand of what? You don't have no upper hand. You're walking away. You're being a little bitch. Just be yourself. Be the bad bitch that you've been. And I feel like they're not selling that fight either correctly. I feel
but again, Frankie, we're 5 weeks out. If Rhea Ripley is pushed by Jade, so what? Rhea's just supposed to be like, oh, okay, let me leave? She's got to fight back, and then now you have a fight.
I agree.
And my whole thing is this. I don't think they want them two to touch each other, because then you take away from whichever one. Like, to me, Rhea needs to have a match on SmackDown, and Jade needs to attack her and leave her laying and stand over her.
Here's the thing. When you look at how Jade and Rhea Ripley is being sold to us, and then you look at how Roman Reigns and CM Punk is being sold to us, that's what outside of the
Yeah, but
statement,
see,
"Hey, I'm old."
no. But that's apples and
No,
oranges.
no, it
Yes, yes. Because here's the thing: CM Punk has established himself as a superstar. Roman Reigns has established himself as a superstar. Rhea Ripley has established herself as a superstar. WWE is still trying to push and get Jade to superstar level.
then she should never have been the champion, and this should not be the fight that should be given to us at WrestleMania. If you feel that way, that's being honest.
Does the crowd reaction not tell you that? When Rhea's music hits, that's a superstar reaction.
I understand that.
That's why when you see that her go to the ring, it makes Jade feel so much smaller. Because she's not on that level. They're trying to make them on the same level, but they're not.
So do you feel that this match is the wrong match? They should have never had the belt on Jade Cargill. It should have been Rhea Ripley against somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, until you had Jade, like, I think that the whole thing was it was supposed to be Jade against Bianca. Bianca ended up not being ready. So then they panicked and they made Rhea another star without having a plan. They tried to make it look like a plan, but...
And they should have made a 3-way for that match.
I agree, but they're
Bring
trying
in
to do this
somebody
now. They're trying to do like a 5-women tag team match. Like
Yeah.
they're trying to make all these women matches that, to me, I don't think need to be made. Man, like like they're gonna put a Tiffany Stratton against Julia is being talked about for the U.S. title. You got that whole scramble for the tag team titles. You're gonna have the heavyweight titles on each show. So you're looking at about 4 to 5 women matches in the 2 nights.
Yeah. And what did you think about what happened on Monday with this whole Obafemi and Brock Lesnar? Because again, one so and we talked about this, right?
Yes.
We're like I said, who's the only one that could kind of like defend Paul Heyman in this is Brock Lesnar.
FAFO. FAFO. FAF5.
So
Dude, Heyman, for real quick though, man, that dude just lives the gimmick, right, man? He came out red eye, blood red shot eyes, thought he had pink eye. He ain't shaved in damn 2 weeks probably.
yeah,
Looks disheveled as hell.
Friday and
And oh my goodness, dude. He just like it's amazing. And then he does that, dude. I thought, and real quick, I know we discussed here. I thought the segment was killer, honestly. I do not like the fact that Obafemi is versing Brock Lesnar so early. Again, as I said, this is desperation to me. The only way this makes sense, because I don't think Obafemi beats Brock Lesnar.
he has
This is the problem. This is my problem. Because I heard the whole thing with Brock Lesnar right now is at WrestleMania he's going to have a slow, steady, like Undertaker type streak. Not ever get to what Undertaker did. But when he does lose at WrestleMania, he's done.
okay.
So if Obafemi is that person to start this, then Obafemi needs to be the person to end it. That's the only way this makes sense.
Okay, so for me, honestly, the only do I like the match? I do like the match,
Oh yes, of course you can. How can you not?
but only if Obafemi wins this. And the
Yeah, I
only
don't
way
think
I
that's
could
gonna happen.
feel that Obafemi could get and win this is you have to include Seth Rollins in this match
Yeah,
as far as like going ahead and costing Brock Lesnar the match. Not this run, not this, hey, he's gonna take like an Undertaker run and win a couple of these matches from WrestleMania for the next couple of years until he finally retires. No, I feel like now that you brought in Seth Rollins into the mix, I don't expect him to be in the match, but I expect him to interfere in the match. And then that's how Obafemi eventually gets the win. It won't be a clean win for Obafemi, but it's still a win for him. And I think that's the only way you could salvage this whole story between, hey, Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. Because now you could involve Seth, and then all of a sudden you could lead up to Seth maybe against Brock for
but
future of the pay-per-view.
I don't want to watch that again either. I've seen that. I mean, it's one of those things to where, like, I agree with you. I think, and I believe that what I saw too was before all the injuries, so things may have changed. But if they did in this light, like, Brock Lesnar's a team player. If he takes the L at WrestleMania, even with Seth helping him, that is a big a big boost for Obafemi. I mean, I just don't know that.
Well, think about it. When Obafemi went against Cody Rhodes, who got involved? Drew McIntyre, right?
Yeah, no,
And
yeah.
it didn't cost Obafemi.
But at
and
that time, it
cost
was the
Cody.
NXT champion. He wasn't on the main roster at that point. Now
Correct.
he's on the main roster.
Correct, but what you could
So-
do is you could have Seth get involved, and then there's a DQ, and nobody wins that match either. So you could
Yeah.
play it like that in WrestleMania as well. Those are options that they're gonna have.
Yeah,
I
but
like the
man,
match.
if you put this match and you, like, solely by saying, "Oh, winner by DQ," like, it'll be Goldberg, Lesnar, Stone Cold as referee all over again.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel those type of vibes on this one, and I hope I'm wrong, man. I hope Obafemi does win this. I truly hope he does, but I just don't know how it works out in that way. If, again, I get it, Seth can get involved, but supposedly Seth can't really do anything, which is why he swung a chair, and you'll see the mask guy doing all the stomps and everything because he technically can't do anything yet, which is why the awkward Seth Brock face down and then Seth rolled out of the ring. Like, I don't know what he can. And again, I don't believe anything WWE says anymore after watching what they did with him to begin with that started this whole thing. So,
Grayson Gregory, he says that I heard Hornswoggle was all elite. I don't think that's possible because I believe he has a WWE Legends deal that he did back in 2024. So I don't think he's allowed to go to AEW.
unless they took away the deal.
Unless they took away the deal, that's the only way. But I haven't heard anything about him actually signing with All Elite. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is something that they're trying to do. I just don't think they would. I don't think WWE would allow that to happen because Hornswoggle still is. Everybody knows who he is. So wherever he goes, people want to still take photos with him. I think he can still sell merch. He can still sell a lot of things for WWE. So I don't think they would do that. Now, going back to the WrestleMania matches, Stephanie Valkyrie and Liv Morgan, you got that other match and the way they're building that one up. Now, here's my issue. What's up with this whole Finn Balor situation? Because they turned on Finn Balor last week when we weren't on. And now you see Liv Morgan talking all this, saying that this was always the plan. So I'm assuming that this is going to lead up to a fight between Dom and Finn Balor at WrestleMania. But, I mean, the whole Stephanie Valkyrie, I mean, she beat Raquel. Good for her, I guess. I mean, that's probably like the third or fifth time they already wrestled one against the other. And then, you know, I don't know. It's kind of difficult to get a vibe of what they're trying to do now with Liv and Stephanie because I feel like they were doing a good job when Liv went ahead and chose her, but just like everything else, they did it so early, and they've had they these next upcoming weeks. I don't think they're kind of like projected or thought and said, "Hey, I think we're running out of material to keep building this up." I think like those promos where Stephanie came out and Dom and Liv were sitting and she called her a B and all that stuff. Those were all really good, but that was 2-3 weeks ago. And we still got 5 more weeks to WrestleMania. So it's like you're losing momentum on something that I felt was gonna be one was a good build up, and now it just you keep giving us, hey, Stephanie versus Raquel. That's it. And then Liv will eventually get her turn. Have a nice day.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things to where the Roxanne injury hindered a little bit of this, the build, I mean. Because then you could have had Raquel and Roxanne basically doing what you're going to have Jay and Jimmy Uso doing for Roman and CM Punk. You would have them two kind of being matches for Punk leading up to Roman without Roman being there. Of course, Liv would be there, but you never touch Liv because you're too busy with Roxanne and Raquel. When she got injured, now you've only got Raquel. And then at the same time, you're trying to do this Finn Balor thing as well, where Liv now says, I'm the one that made the decisions. I let you believe you were the leader, but I was really the one pulling the strings there, or however, you want to take what she said in her promo. That's kind of how I took it. And now the next part is going to be, like, I'm very interested to see on Raw. Pretty soon you get a mixed tag. Where what I mean is Dom's going to get involved with Stephanie and Liv at some point, I believe, before WrestleMania. And of course, Finn Balor's music's going to hit. And then like the week before WrestleMania, you're going to get Finn and Stephanie versus Dom and Liv to make up for one match. Now, I don't know how they're going to get through the other 4 weeks to get to that. Because I don't know that, again, what do? Have Stephanie just keep fighting Raquel? That's over.
Yeah.
It's over. I mean, I don't know how many more times you can do that. And then now what do? Have her wrestle somebody else, and then Liv comes out and costs her? Like, I don't know how many more ways you could remix Stephanie and Raquel without Liv actually getting, and I think the whole thing is they don't want them to really face off until maybe the week before, to where you get a mixed tag, and then now you can make the two matches, Finn against Dom, and Stephanie and Liv are already made, but you can kind of make that way go if you wanted to, even if it's JD and Liv, because you can actually do it that way, or JD and Raquel against Stephanie and somebody of her choosing, and it turns out to be Finn Balor.
Okay, I could see that.
Something like that, to where you're still not touching Liv, but Liv can be involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, because the way they're doing, like, Liv, Io Sky came out to take care of Liv without Stephanie touching. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like they're trying to keep them so far apart. Like, maybe they're going to add more people into the match. I don't know.
Or you know what? They could do that. They could do Stephanie and Io versus Liv and Raquel. And
and then Liv does the heel thing, tagging when Stephanie's down, beating her up, and then getting Raquel back in to be the heel stuff. They go there. So
yeah, because you mentioned Io, and I forgot that she did come out for that one. So
yeah.
All right. Anything else about WWE and WrestleMania and anything?
I think that we did the WrestleMania 42. We did the references. Your buddies over at AEW, All Elite, Mr. All Elite, Frankie Fresco, you guys had another kick-ass pay-per-view. Again, I will never say that AEW doesn't deliver on pay-per-view. I will say it's a long-ass pay-per-view. I will say it is a chore to watch. But they always deliver on pay-per-view, and I don't feel, from what I've heard and the parts that I've seen, again, not for everybody, some of the parts and things that happened, but overall, I think they delivered once again. Although, I do have some questions for you, Frankie Fresco, but I'll get your thoughts first, because I believe you watched it because you were texting at us as it was going on. So go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so I definitely watched the show. I thought the show was not properly. The matches weren't properly scheduled,
It was an AEW show. It was great match after great match after great match after great match, but nobody made sense at where it was at.
it made no sense because, okay, you had the return of Christian Cage and Edge, aka
Adam Copeland, baby, get it right.
Adam Copeland, aka Edge. You had Ronda Rousey out of the blue come out, and there was one more. Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay. Yeah.
So you had all those three come out, and that was at the beginning of the pay per view. Those were like the first couple of matches. That kind of then later on you had the women's match, which was like stuck in between. That made no sense. I guess it was like a bathroom break. For a lot of the people, which was Tekla versus Chris Statlander,
which was your AEW Women's Championship match, by the way.
Yes, it was. And it wasn't a bad match, but it was.
No, it was. I was good. What I saw.
But then you have again the trios championship match, the Speedball, Mike Bailey, Mystico, and all them versus the Don Callis family. And again, a lot of these things, that wasn't a bad match either. They were good matches. AEW always gives you pretty good matches until they take it to extreme. You know, when they take it to extreme, that's when I feel like sometimes, bro, you're trying too hard, and it loses the spunk that I wanted to. Like, I'll tell you this, man. I wish they would go ahead and just keep things pretty straightforward. Like the Andrade Idolo match versus the Ring of Honor World Champion Bandito. That was a great match. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't nothing crazy. It was just two guys wrestling out there. Yeah, they took down their pants to show their trunks and all that stuff. And there's a storyline behind it because obviously Andrade El Idolo has been going around taking photos with like porn stars and influencers and stuff like that leading up to this match. So it's like, yeah, I guess they're like trying to show their I don't know, their crotch area and trying to show who's more manly or whatnot. But it was a great match. It was a really good match. All the matches, the trios match, Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, that match should have never been that late. That should have been one of the first matches because that match was not one of the best matches of the night. It was kind of boring. And that was actually the last match before the main event match when you had MJF versus Hangman. So, just like I do with WWE, I got to give AEW a grade. And if I have to give an AEW grade for this pay-per-view, again, man, the matches were good, but I just felt like it was all over the place. I felt like they got the parts that they needed to get all over. You know, the you should have had Will Ospreay probably been towards the end of the actual pay-per-view. You should have had Adam Copeland and Christian come at the end, not at the beginning. The Ronda Rousey at the beginning is cool, that's fine. And then again, we don't know what the hell is Ronda Rousey doing. Like, is she back in MMA? She's supposed to fight Gina Carano, and now all of a sudden she's in she's in AEW, trying to go against Timeless Tony Storm. So I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and this is gonna be a weak grade for me because I usually give AEW papers. I'm gonna give it a solid C. I feel like this pay-per-view was just all over the place.
Yeah.
And what I didn't like was the fact that they were trying too hard. The whole Hangman MJF match. Look, man, we know that that AEW is over the top. But come on, man. Like putting
You don't like the syringe through the jaw or this stuff?
syringe through the mouth. That is so indie, dude. Like, come on, man. Stop it. Like, I don't need to see that. Like, it definitely shows me why, and it tells me why AEW is second and not number one, or nowhere near close. Because if you have to go through that extreme, that's kind of sad. Like, I'm not buying this anymore. I'm tired of it. Like, I don't need to see a syringe to somebody's mouth.
Yeah.
I don't need to see freaking again grabbing somebody through the chain and hanging him up, and then Hangman, and then after Hangman passes out, he falls and his forehead hits the crap out of the camera, and it has the blood stain of the camera. Are you are you serious? Like, are you guys going this extreme? Like, what is this? Like, look,
They gotta be different, man. They gotta be different, bro.
I like AEW, but
Yeah.
dude,
Well,
that
no,
is
the thing is, bell to bell, the matches are gonna be great on a pay-per-view. They haven't figured out. And again, here's the one thing, man. You bring out Ronda Rousey. Big surprise. Okay. And again, I'm not sure what order they brought him out. But then you bring out Copeland and Cage, so that diminishes Ronda Rousey coming out.
yeah.
Then
Ronda
you
Rousey-
bring out Will Ospreay, that diminishes everything going on. Like, I would have saved Will Ospreay to tonight. You know how I would have opened up tonight's Dynamite? I would have had John Moxley open the show, coming out, hitting all of the Death Riders on the way to the ring, right? Then, when he wins, I would pan to the back and all the Death Riders be laid out. John Moxley in the ring, looking at the Tron and everything else. His guys are laid out. Then I would have Will Ospreay grab the thing and be like, "I'm back," and start heading to the ring to take on John Moxley. Not Moxley can powder and do whatever, but like, to bring him back the way they did, like, great. You brought him back. He laid out some of the death, and then what? I just, like, add to the story, add a little bit to it. You already brought in Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. You brought out Ronda Rousey. Save something for Dynamite. Instead, you know what we get tonight on Dynamite? Will Ospreay versus I forgot who it is now. He's taking on somebody in a match. Welcome back, Will Ospreay.
But look, for me, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. First, I'm not happy that he's going after Moxley.
Well, they put him out. They put him out. That's the thing.
I understand that, man. But I'm tired of making him a second tier guy. Make him go after MJF and the belt. That's what we want to see. We loved MJF versus him the first time around, the 2 times that they ran it. Bring him straight into the title contentions. If I was AEW, I would have put him dead last as soon as MJF beat Hangman. Play Will Ospreay and surprise us all and be like, "Holy crap, Will Ospreay's back." And then not only that, but Will Ospreay could go ahead and be like, "Look, I got my eyes on MJF, but I got some unfinished business at the begin to go up against Moxley or something like that." But at least you start putting him in, kind of like teasing us a little bit that he's into that heavyweight belt and he wants to take it away from MJF. They didn't do that. They just threw him in there on a Sunday and put, hey, Moxley, here you go.
Can I say something?
He's back. What?
By default, I think he's next in line. There's no other face for the title. Page is gone. He can't fight for the title again. It's got to be Ospreay, right? Or Brody King. You gonna bring Brody King back? He just lost.
Yeah, and see, that's why I gave it a C, because look, if you start looking at the card, so first they had the 0 hour where they had the 21-man blackjack battle royale.
Boom!
You saw that, and I will say this: I like the fact that AEW did something cool. I did like this, and I thought that they kind of took this from the UFC, I think, maybe, or maybe they've done this before, where they started the match and people were tuning in. You were seeing it on YouTube, and then in order to finish the 21 battle match, you had to actually.
They started doing it 2 pay-per-views ago to bring into the pay-per-view. Yeah.
Okay, so I like that. I like the fact that, hey, because I was watching it on YouTube, and then all of a sudden, oh crap, the match is out on YouTube. You gotta order the pay-per-view in order for you to see who wins. Okay, great.
You can't even give me the free match you promised me for free. I gotta pay to watch the ending. Way to go, AEW. You money scoundrels.
Wait, hold on a second, because they did give us the boom with QT Marshall defeating.
Yeah, whoa. Boom and doom, baby.
I know.
Boom and doom.
I know. No doubt was happy about that, because the boom one.
Who's this? The guy who does that? What the hell does he do? The little guy, Rizzler.
And you know what? Oscar says AEW needs to sign the pizza wrestler. This is the sad thing. They've had him. They've had him a couple. He came to AEW and he actually wrestled a couple during what was it? I think during the COVID time.
Yeah, during the COVID time.
So
Which, by the way, kudos to Tony Khan. He gave a lot of indie wrestlers paydays when he didn't have to. Kudos.
well, I wouldn't give that much kudos because he likes to pay everybody, and whenever he's
Yeah, but at
pissed
that
off,
time,
like,
those guys and gals had nowhere to wrestle. Indie shows weren't able to do. I mean, I know a couple of them that had like schools, like CCW was able to do the YouTube shows and things like that, but a lot of them weren't able to do, and make money or whatever. So, look, man. Look, Tony Khan has done a lot of good. I just disagree with the way he books shows.
all right. So you have that. FTR defeats the Young Bucks, but then here comes obviously
in front of their kids, man. In front of their kids, bro.
And then Copeland comes and he has the big pop and everyone is like crazy and all that stuff. Then you had Timeless Tony, and Timeless Tony beat Marina Shafir. And then of course, I don't know if you saw, it was trending, the fact that Timeless Tony Storm was biting Marina Shafir's boobie.
You sent it to us.
It was like,
You sent it to us, man.
again,
The booby bite. The booby bite.
This is so indie. Like what is this? This is
Taco
so-
titty.
This is indie stuff.
Because
bro.
she grabbed it. She grabs it and then bites it.
Yeah, so like, bro, what is this? What am I watching? Like, again, like, there's certain things that were good, but this is just over the top. And then out of the blue, you see Tony after she wins, she's like dancing on the ground, like being all happy. And then Ronda Rousey comes to the ring, and they don't play no song for Ronda Rousey. Doesn't do anything. Ronda Rousey's just standing.
She's
there,
just there getting booed by everybody.
and then you're like, what the hell happened?
If I was there, I would have chanted, I thought you hated wrestling. I thought you hated wrestling. You hate wrestling. You hate wrestling.
I don't know, man. It was just really look, man. I am the type of person that says, yo, the AEW pay-per-views deliver. I didn't think this one did, man.
But the matches delivered. That's what I'm talking about. The
not
matches
even all
on
of
it.
them. Not even all of them, man. Not even all of them.
They overstep like the MJF one. It doesn't need everything it got. I get that. And again, it goes.
You had Willow
It goes
Nightingale.
to booking though. It goes to booking and how you set up the card. You don't need.
Sean,
That's the other problem with
Sean,
AEW though is they do 27 matches, bro, and everyone gets 30 minutes.
Sean, they had Willow Nightingale on the Dark Hour, right?
Yep, and wrestled again. Tag
And then
team title.
She wrestled the tag team title. You know how long that match lasted? Like 5 seconds, bro.
Yeah.
Why in the world are you putting her?
Well, you know why, right?
Beginning of the hour and then doing the tag team. Come on, man. Leave that. If you wanted her to defend for the belts, both belts, have her defend it on Dynamite, bro, or even Collision, whatever. But not do it.
The problem was they were supposed to lose the titles, but then what's her name got hurt, so they had to change it. So they weren't supposed to be the champions on the show. But what's Penelope Ford got hurt. So they changed everything and then made this. But again, she fought the same person in both matches. She fought Lena Cross for the title, and then Lena Cross was part of the tag team match, which that kind of makes no sense, but it is what it is.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. And Strickland beats Brody King. That was a pretty good fight. The Tekla versus Chris Stylander was good, but it had a falling out because obviously that's not a... Look, Tekla's still not... in my opinion, she's not. The fans are not buying into her to be.
The problem is all they give her is promo time. They don't introduce these men and women the right way. They just expect that. Oh, you know what? Our fans will understand who they are, and I get it. They're tops in the indies and other shows and things like that. But that doesn't necessarily translate over. You got to do vignettes and. Packages and things like that, and
to their defense, she has been wrestling a lot in AEW. I think she's probably been there now for a year.
Yeah, but it's not wrestling. I mean, wrestling wise is whatever.
People know.
Give us a backstory. People don't get invested by the ring work. That's the problem that AEW has. Nobody invests in it. You can be great in the ring, but people are going to say what I say about the pay-per-view. I know they're going to deliver because I know every one of them can deliver in the ring. But that don't mean I'm going to spend my money on them because I'm not invested in a single one of them except MJF.
But
and swerve or something. But I mean, there's not. I'm not buying 27 matches for two guys and gals that I want to watch.
Tekla is a good wrestler. She knows what she's doing. She just doesn't have they haven't built her up to where, like, she's like Jade Cargill. She's a champion that has not been built up correctly. And they're just trying to feed us this just champion, and it's not working, in my opinion. Then, and I'm trying to go through one here, the trios match, which you had Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight, which was cool. They came with the mask, just with Mystico and all that stuff. But after the match was over, Mystico won. The Speedball and Kevin Knight all won. They beat the Don Callis, Okada, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis. And then they announced that they signed freaking Mystico to AEW. Another guy that AEW steals from somebody else.
From CMLL. From their CMLL.
When I see that, I'm like, dude, like, if I'm another wrestling organization, I'm not doing any business with AEW. They keep taking everybody's wrestler. Like, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, when I saw that, I was like, I'm happy for Mystico. It's great. But come on,
yeah,
man.
But also sometimes when they say that, though, they may have a dual contract where AEW is paying some and CMLL is paying some, but they announce them as all elite, but they're going back and forth. Kind of what they're doing with the AAA and WWE guys now, like Santos Escobar, who now tore his tricep, so he's out for a while. But he was signed to WWE, but he's going to be more on AAA.
I mean, I just hope that they still keep Mystico over in the Mexico one, because if they put Mystico in AEW, Dynamite, and Collision, and then you have him fighting Bandito at Ring of Honor, who I had no idea Bandito was the Ring of Honor champion, that's gonna be sad, bro. Because Mystico,
he's been the champion for a while.
He has been, which is the sad part. And then and again, like, it's just a lot of things that you wish AEW would do differently, man. But Barry, I was disappointed. Like I told you, I'll give it a C because of the fact that I like that. They brought back Will Ospreay, Copeland came back. You had a really good match between Bandito and Andrade El Idolo. There was some really good matches there. But man, bro, then the order sucked. The whole, going to the extreme of using a syringe, the whole, little things, areas that they just need to work on some stuff, man. And it's sad because AEW's been in business for a while now. they just don't get it. Like, I could understand TNA.
Yeah.
But I have no idea how in the world. Like, I'm watching TNA, right? And if you guys, I hope you guys are tuning in to TNA, because TNA is being smart. TNA actually brought in this guy from Europe. What's his name? The guy with the really good song, Bang Bang Sosa.
Ricky Sosa. Ricky Sosa,
who I feel he's gonna be the next biggest star, and supposedly he's only 21, so he's a very young kid.
Sosa, bang bang, Sosa, bang bang.
Well, I think you're a little bit off, but yes,
whatever, it's close enough.
Bang bang, Sosa, like that. That's how.
Oh, there it is. I knew it was Sosa, like something like that. Yeah, my fault.
But he was actually he did a little social media thing with Mercedes Moné, actually. So I don't know. And again, he was in TNA, and they did a good job with it. And I've been looking at TNA's show, and it has been getting better.
It's getting better.
They're doing a lot better than day one. AEW hasn't. AEW still does the same dumb mistakes that they've done since they've gotten worse. Because I thought I always feel like they were so much better when Cody was there. And then once Cody left,
I think Cody kept it more wrestling instead of like jumping the shark on some things. Because now I feel like it gets to a certain point and it kind of jump like off. Eric Maria says, you know how long Bandito's been champ? He beat Jericho for the Ring of Honor title. Think about that.
I didn't even know he beat Jericho. All I remember, the reason I found out that Bandito was the champion.
Eric, thank you for tuning in too, man. I appreciate you.
You appreciate it, Eric. Eric, the reason I found out that Bandito was the champion was because I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were talking to AEW, and then all of a sudden I'm like, we were talking about how Tony Khan likes to send people out of the blue to Ring of Honor, and we started reading the roster, and I was like, oh my God, Bandito's the heavyweight champion in Ring of Honor. When the hell did this happen? Because I don't watch Ring of Honor because they don't promote it. I mean, I think you got to have the app in order for you to watch
I was going to say, do you know where to go to watch it?
Yeah, isn't it the app?
The My AEW app now, right? The My AEW app or whatever it is now. So, Frankie, we were talking about the pay-per-view. We were talking about Raw. Do you know how long all the matches on WWE Raw, from bell to bell, the amount of wrestling time on WWE Raw this week?
Those matches lasted, bro, because I remember they going to a lot of commercials. So I'm assuming each match is at least a minimum of 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
I need a minutes and seconds, or if you want to go hour, minutes, seconds, or whatever you think it's going to be. Remember, the show is about 2 hours and 35 minutes this week.
Okay, so I would say, how many matches was on Raw? They probably had like 4 matches on Raw. So if it's 2 hours, I mean, each match shot probably going like 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I'm saying 30 minutes. 30 minutes each match for Monday Night Raw.
Not even close, man. Not even close, buddy.
What are they?
Total wrestling time for all matches on Raw. And again, I'm going off of somebody's tweet and watching this. Okay, so this is why I put this down, because I thought it was funny, because I don't have enough time to sit there and do this. But they say it was 46 minutes and 51 seconds of actual wrestling. Do you know how long the MJF and Hangman main event at Revolution was?
Probably that match by itself was that long.
46 minutes and 18 seconds.
Yeah. and that's the problem, because I believe, how many matches were there in that pay-per-view? I think 11, 12?
Yeah. I mean, if you count 0 hour, I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's crazy how long those pay-per-views are. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I tune out sometimes. Like when I was watching the pay-per-view, I'll be like, hey, let me go grab something to eat, and then I'll come back and watch the rest of them.
Also, think about this. If you're at home watching it and tuning it out, what do you think's happening to the crowd?
Oh, they're getting burned.
The live crowd. You gotta, the poor men and women gotta bust their ass to try to get the crowd back into it. And that's why sometimes you get some of the stupid stuff they do, because that's just to spark the crowd to try to get something out of them.
The problem is, and this also explains a couple things too. Let's say, for example, you're a Miami person, right? You don't come on time. You like to come in late, like we like to get to the Dolphin game late. We like to get to the Heat game late and all that stuff. If you get late to the AEW, you're going to miss Adam Copeland showing up. You're going to miss Ronda Rousey. You're going to miss actual people that you probably would like to see. So they're forcing fans to actually have to be there on time. At least not, I wouldn't be there for the 0 hour. Just, even though the 0 hour, the Here Comes the Boom was really good. But again, it's like, man, like, dude, this is too much, man. That's why when it comes to a pay-per-view in AEW, I would think about it twice. I would, if I'm going to go to a pay-per-view at AEW, the first thing I'm going to do is either I'm going to eat a heavy like lunch. That way I don't have to be like starving myself over there, because I know it's going to be a long day of wrestling. I know it's going to be a long day of wrestling if I go to one of their pay-per-views. So.
All right, let's go to another topic that also came out of the Revolution pay-per-view. It was not a good look, a terrible look, a crappy look for one Ricochet, who responded after losing his title to the AEW National Championship to Jack Perry in the 21-man Blackjack Battle Royal. There was a poster on X, Sandy T, that posted, his acting hasn't improved. Ricochet replies to this and says, I'm glad you got MS.
It's fucking this guy, bro.
Now here's the thing about this whole thing, okay? At first I was like, I wonder if Ricochet knew the person or not. Ricochet did not know the person. He had to read her bio, and in the bio, this is what it says. Love my Winnipeg Blue Bombers, trying not to let my MS control my life.
Jesus.
So he read that, and then Sandy T wrote back, well, if that makes you happy, have a great life.
I love it, bro. I love it. You know, that is.
Oh, wait. Ricochet responded again, by the way.
Oh, what did he say?
Yeah, hold on. I got to get down to the bottom. He says, it's so hilarious that the amount of little bitches who has tweeted and wished harm on me, who has wished even death and some of the most vile things to me and my wife. People who try and make fun of me every day. But those same little bitches can't take it when I do it back. And then he ended it with, hold on, man, I got to find it. Where was the other thing? He ends it with, I can't take it when I do it back to people. Effing pussies everywhere.
Yeah, and good point by Eric, man. Yeah, he might be cooked because there are rumors right now saying that they're gonna fire him. And again, one thing that we learned, both you and me, Sean, is that Tony Khan might own AEW, but he goes based on what, TNT, TBS, those guys, Warner Brothers decides what they want to see and what they don't want to see. Brody King, hey, you're saying these ice chants, get him off TV. We're not going to show him. Hey, you Trey Miguel, which was a good example. Hey, this guy has these these issues before. Yeah, he's not going to be in AEW. And Tony Khan has obliged. So, Ricochet, I think you're gone, dude. Samantha Irvin had to take off her she had to shut down her Twitter account because she was getting cooked too. Look, man. Ricochet's not the most brightest guy in the world, bro. And granted, man.
All the talent in the world, but why would you do something that stupid?
And not only that, Sean, it's like, here is the line. This is the problem I think that a lot of wrestlers sometimes have because, let's use the example of Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Telling in Roman Reigns in the wrestling story, hey, I'm going to bury you next to your dad. If, God forbid, your father passed away or my father passed away and somebody said that in real life to me, I would freaking punch that person in the face because you're disrespecting me. You're disrespecting my father. I understand that that's the wrestling business. That's the storyline. They're doing all this stuff. But what happens or what tends to happen is that some wrestlers decide that, hey, look, this I could act that way as well outside of the wrestling ring, outside of the TV being on me. And there's not going to be any repercussions. And I think that's what happened to Ricochet.
See, that's where I think you're wrong. I think it goes on the individual because MJF does stupid shit and stays in his heel role, and he's never once done something this way.
He has said some stuff sometimes that are.
He has said some stuff, but most of it has been, again, you're not hiding behind that. That's an excuse. You are who you are, and look. But dude, okay, you're a dumb fan. You're a mark. You do whatever that way if you want to do it that way. You don't go after somebody and say, glad you got MS when you try to read a profile to see that. That is a calculated thing. You specifically went to the profile to see who sent the comment. You read it and then you responded. You had a chance to go, you know what? This isn't the right thing. And instead, you're going to say, oh, everybody's like, oh, no, he's just being his heel self. No, there's a difference, man. You could you could say, listen, Mark, and this and that. And I get it. People have probably said some vile ass stuff to him and his wife and everything else. But unfortunately, you got to take the high road on some of that stuff because you're the performer. Not saying it's right, but you can't drop yourself down to their level and then be like, oh, you did it to me, so I'm doing it to you. Yeah, but I don't have a contract that has sponsors and people and TV things that I can say whatever I want to say. That's why they're keyboard tough guys.
See, but that's where, in my opinion, I feel like some of these guys and gals don't know how to separate the in-ring situation, storylines, and all that stuff compared to the world. They let those things get to them. And it's not only in wrestlers. I mean, you've seen how Kevin Durant has gotten insulted before from fans, and he doesn't hold back. He said some things like that. Didn't go to the extreme of saying somebody who has that, unfortunately, issue or problem. But Ricochet, unfortunately, took it a step further. And obviously, he knows he messed up because he apologized. They
And
don't
deleted
care.
it, by the way.
Oh, he deleted it as well?
The tweet was deleted, yeah.
Yeah, that guy's an idiot. That guy's cooked. That guy's going to get released. Because, look, man, you've had wrestlers who said some crazy things on social media. Alberto Del Rio has said some stuff. Hulk Hogan has said some stuff. It's just a matter of, like, some of these individuals just doesn't... I guess they let social media get to them. Look, and I get it. I get it. Like,
They get the keyboard tough guy mentality just like the fans get.
yeah.
Do you think a fan's going to walk up to some of these guys and say what they say online?
Oh, absolutely
Hell
not.
no.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Hell no. But you know what? And no doubt said the internet never forgets.
No.
Once you put that out there, it's there. You have to think, you know? And again, that's why I think also when you watch people like, you know, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, how often are they on there actually going back and forth with fans?
But well, I'll tell you something. When No Doubt says the internet never forgets, I'll say this: the internet never forgets, but people do eventually let it simmer down, where they'll allow it eventually. So
Or until something else brings it back up to the top. Trey Miguel, just saying.
Correct, but look at Trey Miguel; he's doing really well in TNA.
I'm not saying it didn't work out for him, but again, it's stuff that gets brought back up that has been, you know, almost a decade, you know, past. I mean,
it could either come back up, or it might eventually be put under the rug, right? Like, I'll give you a perfect example. And funny enough, we're talking about this. I was talking to my friend earlier today, and a song that's trending a lot right now is "The Baby." I don't know if you know who The Baby is, but he's a rapper, and The Baby was doing really, really, really big a couple of years ago during that COVID time when he took out his album. He had a freaking that blew him up, but he started going after the transgenders, and when he did that, that killed him. Like, he disappeared completely. And think about it. Now, up till now is when he's starting to take out music again, because he's had to let the smoke kind of clear away in order for him to kind of try to rejuvenate his career. So this happens to everybody in social media. When you just have to have a thicker skin, bro. And if you can't, if you see people saying these things and stuff like that, man, just don't respond. Just turn off your phone and walk away and be like, whatever, people get away. You forget about it. I might be having a bad day and I might react. Look, I kid you not. We had this once happen to us while we were on the podcast. Somebody was cracking jokes about both of us, and obviously we blocked them. But we blocked them because at the end of the day, we never insulted that person. That person insulted us. So yes, there is, to a certain extent, you have to go ahead and respond, but not to the level of Ricochet, where, hey man, this person kind of heckled me for a minute, so let me go even harder on her and insult her. And like you said, he had to read the profile and everything, and it's just unnecessary. And if he gets fired, bro, it's gonna suck, man, because I think he's done a really good job in the AEW. He's had a better run in AEW than in WWE.
No, definitely, because AEW fits him better than WWE does. Like, I can't believe Javon Evans is getting, you know, again, it becomes to where Javon Evans came at the right time when it wasn't VKM. VKM guys were not gonna, if you're not a certain build, you weren't gonna get pushed back then. By the way, the first ever AEW wrestler to go and sign with CMLL has been announced. We were just talking about how AEW is stealing CMLL guys.
Okay.
Well, CMLL has stolen an AEW competitor. Official as of tonight. Claudio Castagnoli as CMLL. They even got a little banner. Instead of is all elite, they're now as CMLL.
Okay, good.
Look at that.
Maybe AEW gets a taste of their own medicine, bro.
No, he signed a dual contract. He's wrestling for both.
No, never mind. I will say this as well. Was it? Shout out to AAA. They had a hell of a weekend. Mm-hmm. Shout out to NXT. They had a really.
By the way, real quick, El Jefe, great job with AAA. The Undertaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you got Shawn Michaels in NXT, Triple H in WWE, and Undertaker at AAA. So very good the way they're managing all those brands, and it's been entertaining, man. It's been entertaining. Certain things they need to tweak and they need to get better on, but I will say this: I do like NXT. I think NXT yesterday's show was great. I thought it was really good. What they did out there in Houston, and the whole. Giving Booker T his flowers because I guess that was his hometown. I think Booker T is from Houston, or he's
from Houston. Yes. Yep.
So that was pretty cool that they gave him his flowers as well. So good stuff from NXT. It was a really good show yesterday, when it came to NXT.
All right, one last thing we're going to talk about, and then we will end it. And now I got to find this. I'm sorry, I got it up here in my. Here it is. Tony Khan brags AEW fans spend more on streaming than WWE, NFL, NBA, and UFC. Now, during their TV negotiations, apparently, the rights negotiations, he said, it's interesting because I'm always learning new data points and facts. And when we were doing our TV renewal, I learned a lot of new data that I didn't know. He then said he revealed the claim that stood out most from the research surrounding AEW's fan base. This is quoted from Tony Khan. And one thing that amazes me is, did you know that of all the sports leagues in the world, including the NFL, the MLB, NBA, UFC, PGA, WWE, WTA, all these places, the sports league that has the highest spend on streaming video per month of their fans of all the sports leagues in the world is AEW.
Can we fact check that?
I don't know if you can fact check it, but here's my question. You're telling me they only like AEW? They don't like the NFL? They don't like NBA? They don't like... So, how do you designate who an AEW... I'm an AEW and a WWE fan. So do I go on both of them? Do I only go on one?
That's a good question. That's why I said you got to fact check him. I think he's just...
Well, that's why I thought this was kind of like a non-story in a way, because it's like, okay, so then anybody can take that and be like, hey, my fans spend the most money on streaming. Yeah, because you got to watch... The only place you can watch UFC now is Paramount, so you got to pay to watch it. Netflix, if you pay to watch that, I don't understand, how that data point is any different than NFL can claim it too. Our fans spend the most on streaming. Well, yeah, because now you got to have Prime. You got Peacock, right? What is it? Fox. You got all these sports where you can watch games now. So you have to have all these streaming things. So yeah, you're spending money on. I found it interesting that I'm sure he's right. I'm sure their fans do, but I'm sure WWE fans spend just as much money streaming.
I mean, you got to spend Netflix, Peacock, ESPN Plus if you want to watch all of WWE content. So yeah.
I don't I just think it was funny to hear like this was announced on like a call and he thought it was like maybe, and again, maybe I'm totally wrong here, but to me it feels like such a story in a way. It's like, well, everybody's fans pay big money for streaming.
Yeah.
Like I've never received anything, I haven't received one in forever. I don't even know if they do them anymore. They used to do those things where they mail your house and you'd have to check off what you watch and then you mail it back. And that's how they got like this ratings thing goes. But like, do you think the pay-per-view costs go into that measurement? I mean, yeah, remember, you got to pay $69.99 for their pay-per-views, or $49.99, I'm sorry, for their pay-per-views. With WWE, you pay whatever the cost of the streaming is. Even when it was Peacock, you didn't pay anything extra. With AEWs, you got to pay extra on top of the streaming. So I guess, yeah, it does. I mean, and then No Doubt all said, is that supposed to be a good thing? I mean, I guess if you're trying to sell it to people, your people that watch your show spends money. So you can say they're going to buy anything. I mean, I guess if you want to say that, I mean, but again, I just think that you're saying it's more than NBA, NFL, and all this, but how do you classify what they're a fan of? You're telling me no AEW fan is an NFL fan? No WWE fan is an NBA fan? I just don't know how you can classify and say your fan base, because they're AEW, spends the most money on streaming when I'm sure they watch something else as well.
Yeah, I agree.
I saw it and I was like, I got to bring this up just because it was so odd to me that that's a boast. My fans spend the most money to stream our product.
That is very, I mean, I don't know. I guess that's something he wants to feel proud about. I'm not sure.
Yep. All right, Frankie. Let
I
him know
got-
where they can get you, my friend. Oh, yes, son? Go ahead.
I got one thing I wanted to ask you
Oh, boy.
before we end the night. And this is a story that was trending, and I sent it to you guys, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to send you this story, but I'll read it out, and I want to get your personal opinion on this. So, there was a jaw-dropping moment, and I'm reading this off of WDRB.com news. At a Louisville wrestling event that was not part of the show, landed a 22-year-old at the hospital. And I'm talking about
Oh, I know. I saw the referee.
the referee who suffered a seizure during the Louisville wrestling match. So what ended up happening in this particular case, one of the wrestlers climbed the turnbuckle, was supposed to hit his opponent, and instead of that, it was
They
planned.
put the referee. It was planned for the referee to get put in the
Yes.
way.
So the referee gets hit, but the problem is, I guess the referee took the hit pretty bad, and what
They took a knee to the temple, actually, is what happened. Just like you did.
that's what happened. He took a knee to the temple.
I
Is
believe
that
it was
what
a knee or an elbow. It was a knee or an elbow from the top rope. Yeah.
So he took a shot to the
To the head.
temple, which is what I had. But thank God I didn't have a seizure. This referee had a seizure in the middle of the ring. And while he was having the seizure, the remaining wrestlers are still wrestling. There's even one guy that picks him up while he's twitching and just throws him to the side. Sean, what do you think about this wrestling organization, this OVW, and should these wrestlers be held accountable for their negligence of not caring
think
about
they-
this guy having a seizure in the middle of the ring?
Now, to explain a little bit about OVW, I don't know if you remember the show on Netflix, I believe it was, called Wrestlers or something. It followed a couple of the wrestlers. That was OVW. That was OVW. It's owned, I believe, by Al Snow and some others. And again, I'm going off of what has come out since then as well. I'm gonna put everything kind of take it into context. They definitely, there was a mess up and a miscommunication during the match. I mean, but supposedly, listening to what the wrestler who did it, they've done this before. Now, again, if you watch this one, I'd never seen how he takes the hit and how he gets laid out. If you watch this one before he even starts season up, he's out. His hands are kind of up and
all right, let me ask
and
a
things
question.
like that.
Do you want to show? Do you want us to show? Do you want
No,
me to
no,
share?
I don't
No?
want to. No,
Okay.
no,
All right.
no, man, no. I'm just happy the dude's good and everything worked out. And again, this is where sometimes when you're in the ring, you forget that it's entertainment, and you start thinking, like, oh, I got to do this move, oh, I got to get this in, and then and especially like in OVW leagues like that, it probably happens more than it should. They wanted to get their stuff in and finish the match, so he kind of pushes the guy to the side, which he says he's done before when they've done this before. This is the first time I've done this spot, so he kind of kicks him away. And he rolls him over and he picks him up and he says, and again, I'm going off of what he said, and nobody came back from the people that have been involved in it and said, again, crappy situation. No, it should not have happened. But again, in the heat of it, and I can understand this part of it, he thought he was going through the motions that they had. Now, and again, he doesn't stop to study to see his body movement. If you look at the ref, he's out. I mean, his arms are up. He's, like if you're knocked out cold.
No, he's twitching, Sean.
Well, no, he twitches after he kicks him over. Then he starts twitching. That's why the people ran from the back. If you watch, nobody runs from the back until he physically moves them over. That's when he starts twitching.
But if you look at it, yes, he starts twitching at first, and then afterwards, they continue the match. He starts twitching, and then there's another wrestler that picks him up from the waist and literally moves him to the turnbuckle. And does that. That is, you as a wrestler, you know that he's not selling that. That's not something you sell.
Well, supposedly he said, and again, I'm going on because he posted this, and nobody's come back at him from OVW or anything else being like, and it hasn't been removed. He says when he did it before, he would go dead weight because the ref was so small that he could pick him up and move him. Again, not saying it's right, because if you see the body language of the referee, it should click into you. When you see him, again, when he's like, down and he's in his body, he's locked, his arms are locked. That's not, necessarily, to me, I wouldn't think that he was selling that looking at that. Usually when they sell, they're going to sell with their heads down and kind of watching the action a little bit with their eyes every once in a while, shaking the cobwebs, or they'll duck their head under like that if there's a cue from one of the wrestlers to walk by and kind of like slide their foot and touch him so he knows, okay, start working my way back up. Things like that happen. But also I understand the part of it where you get lost in the ring and you don't take into accountability that part of it. I mean, fortunately for me, knock on wood, it never happened to me where I had to be in a situation to where, that decision needed to be made, something like that. But I would have liked to have seen them err more on the side of caution than just kind of be like, well, this is what we do normally, and we move him. Just by the way that his body had stiffened up, you could tell that he was knocked out. And unless he plays that way every time, I just I just think that, again, you get caught up in the heat of the thing. And the other thing is too, and again, nothing right on this, is that show is broadcast live on TV in Kentucky or Louisville, wherever they're at. And that was on TV. That was a live show. And, and again, you never know what can happen in the ring. I would have liked to see more error on caution there, but I could also see, again, it's one of those things to where once you're in the heat of the moment, sometimes you just start getting so focused on, okay, referee's down, I move him. You don't look at the referee knowing that he's knocked out. And the one thing too that was interesting to me was when the one guy hits him and he first goes down, the guy kind of looks like he's trying to talk to him. And I don't know if that was where he knew he hit him and he was trying to find out, because then the other guy comes and, of course, does the spot. But it felt like he was giving more time trying to make sure he was okay than maybe what was supposed to happen. So then I don't know if maybe once that guy got out, he was the one that to the back was like, hey, get somebody out because this probably shouldn't have happened.
Well,
But
let me read something here, because the referee's mother actually came and spoke about this, and this is what she said. Obviously, the video shows 15 seconds after Dallas Edward, which is the name of the referee, hit the mat. His body begins uncontrollably to shake. He's suffering a seizure. This is what she says. I'm not upset about the bump. Dallas knows how to fall, and he has trained as a wrestler. What I'm concerned about is the lack of preparation OVW had when a medical emergency like this happened. Nobody stopped the match. They are wrestling over the top of my child as he has a seizure. She also goes to say, how do you treat another human being like that? Because what happens was, while Dallas Edward continues to convulse, a wrestler drags him to the side of the ring and appears to kick him as well. On camera, Dallas Edwards is shaking for 45 seconds before he's moved out of the frame and the match stops. She says her son is awake, taking an intensive care unit at Norton whatever hospital for a brain bleed and a concussion. There is medical, okay, whatever. In this unprecedented situation, the person who would normally make the assessment was the one who needed assistance, said Al Snow, former WWE wrestler. In the post online, company says OVW takes the health and well-being of all performers extremely seriously, and as a company, we are all distraught to see an injury to one of our own. If somebody doesn't respond to you checking on him, the match stops right then. Pro wrestling is heavily regulated in the state of Kentucky with strict rules on when a match must be stopped for blood, requiring a report, a video of the incident to be turned over the Kentucky Boxing Wrestling Commission within 5 business. However, there is no requirement currently to stop a match for an injury without blood. So, my question to you, Sean, because now this is another factor here. Again, it says when there's blood, they have restrictions as to when they should stop, but there's no requirement currently to stop a match for an injury without blood. Should that be implemented? Should they find a way to implement a way to see, hey, look, if the person immediately has or starts acting in a sense, you immediately have a referee or have somebody else come inside the ring.
Well, the problem is this was the referee. That's the problem.
Well, another person.
What they need to do, they need to have the ring announcer or one of the announcers that are watching the match and not participating in be the one to make that call. Because as you know, again, usually it's the referee making the call if one of the wrestlers gets hurt. Now, what happens when the referee is the one that is down and you can't, who's signaling the X? You know,
maybe have 2 referees out there then. One in the ring and one outside.
Not two, but again, you have announcers, you have timekeepers, you have plenty of people out there. You saw, again, I'm just trying to, like, the only thing that like, because like I said, he was in the ring and he was stiff and he as you said, he was seizing and stuff. Like, how did he sell before to where nobody in the back was like, this isn't right? You're watching the TV. You have a monitor in the back. So again, my question, and again, I'm not saying, you know, like I said, I mean, I've been in the battle to where you're focused on the thing. It's not right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just trying to give that end of it. When you're looking at wrestling and you're thinking you're entertaining the crowd, I don't know how the referee sold. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and again, once he starts seizing, everything should have been halted. But why didn't anybody from the back come out and be like, you know, like there was no stopping anything anywhere. Like, the back didn't come out until he physically moved them over. And then did somebody see something? Like, that's the part where every show I've been a part of, you have somebody watching the screen in the back. If something goes wrong, then like for instance, one time we had somebody that was going too long in a show.
Okay.
All right, give me all the heels. All the heels come out. Boom. Go down there and just whoop his ass. Okay, go. Boom. You're telling me somebody didn't notice that, hey, Dallas sells usually like he's knocked out like that, but his feet are shaking, his legs are shaking, he's seizing. There's more going on here than what is normal. That's the part that like something is off there. Was nobody watching the match? But you had commentary calling the match because they called the spot. And then they kept, like it's tough, man, because I mean, yes, they're at fault regardless. You're in the ring, you're a team in the ring. But the problem is the referee is usually the one that is assigned to send the X. That's where, again, when you talked about with the social media, wrestlers have to know when to be able to cut it off. In the ring, you have to be like, that's not right. We got to stop this.
Was the Dallas Edwards' spot to act like he was having a seizure after getting hit?
I'm sure it was not, but I don't know how he sells. There's some referees, when they got hit, there used to be a referee, Mark Curtis. When he'd get hit, he would flop around the ring like a dead fish. Like a fish when you got caught. That's how his body would go.
Interesting.
But again, nowadays, they care about the wrestlers. Back then, they didn't care. They would physically take you and throw the referee out of the ring, no matter what. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But now, with the way that, the health and safety of the wrestlers is top key, I can't believe that somebody wasn't out there to be like, hey, that's it. We're done. We're taking it. We're out. Stop it. That's the part that I have an issue with. Because again, the referee, Al Snow is right. The referee is the one assigned to do that. But if you know the referee is taking a bump, somebody else has to be assigned that task.
100%, yeah. And
usually when a referee gets bumped, another referee comes out to do the match. So where was the whole,
They should have been better prepared for this. They should have been prepared, especially since you knew that the referee was going to take a bump.
You should have had precautions in place. If there was supposed to be a heel spot to where the referee's down and you're doing something so you don't send a referee out early, the referee still should have been at the curtain to see that, okay, the ref's good. We're good. Keep going. Or, nope, he's out. He's hurt. Let's get somebody out there right away. So, yes, there was the thing in there, but from from me being in the ring and on the wrestling side, unfortunately, sometimes when you call the ref bump, you're not looking to make sure the ref, if you're doing a bump for the ref, you're making sure. But again, I've never been part of one where the ref takes a flying elbow or knee, I can't remember the exact spot, off of the top rope. I've been a part of one where they're doing a cross body and boom, and the ref has to take a back bump.
My biggest issue with this wasn't so much the guy who gave him the bump. It was the second guy, the guy who actually picks him up and just drags him over and puts him to the side. If that guy, in my opinion, should get, I don't think it exists in indie shows or in wrestling, but I would suspend him because
well, no, you can get in. I believe in Louisville they have license. So you can get your license revoked and you can't wrestle inside Kentucky or wherever the license for.
Well, I don't think it should go to that extreme, but I do feel that guy was very heartless for him to pick him up and just knowing that the guy has his hand up like this and he's twitching like that is not normal. And for him to pick him up, and when he picks him up, he's still doing that. He still has his hand up and he's still twitching, and he just drags him. It feels cold-blooded. It feels like he has no heart. Like he doesn't care. Like, hey, it's the show, whatever. And clearly, what Eric says is totally true. It never looked like the ref was selling. It always looked like he was having a seizure from the moment. I don't blame the guy who gave him the bump. I'm talking about the second guy that picks him up and drags him. That guy, I feel should get some type of suspension or a fine or something, because he needs to learn. Hey, you need to be able to take care of your brother, even if your brother in the ring is a referee. That's just my 2 cents on this matter. What do you guys feel in the
Yeah.
chat board?
Hold on a minute. Here's what I was looking for. I've been looking for this for a thing here.
What are you looking for?
Um,
In the meantime, while you're looking that up, all you guys that are tuning in on X, all you guys that are tuning in on YouTube, make sure you go on YouTube, hit the like, hit the subscribe, share with your friends and family. Let them know that we're here. Don't forget to follow me, Frankie Fresco, at Fresco Music, on all social media platforms, on X, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. And also don't forget to follow also Sean Stanley and Stanley Media House. Our shows vary. Sometimes we do it on Tuesdays, sometimes we do it on Wednesdays.
yeah.
Obviously, last week it was unfortunately my fault, but we were able to do the show this week, and hopefully, I'm at 100% next week in order for you guys to get 100% of Frankie. Today, you guys got like an 80% of Frankie. So I apologize if I wasn't myself all throughout the whole show.
So here's the gentleman that that was the one that moved him, Tony Evans. He said, I want to start by expressing my support and love for Dallas Edwards, wishing him the best in his recovery. I've spoken with him. He's doing well, and he knows we're all thinking of him. He said, during Thursday's match, there was a planned spot that resulted in an unexpected injury to Dallas. The match was 35-plus minutes with 12 men, 2 run-ins, 2 referee bumps. Dallas time came as planned, and everything seemed fine from my point of view. The next sequence had me falling next to Dallas and crawling away with my back turned to him, having my eyes focusing on the other wrestlers. And now my screen just went out. Hold on. Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Focusing the other wrestlers in the ring. Though I knew where Dallas was, as we set up for the next thing in my periphery, I noticed Dallas was still close to the center, as he didn't know that what we were doing next. So I go to move him. Dallas and I have worked together frequently, and he will usually always go dead weight as I try to move him. When I touched him was the first time I laid eyes on him. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I'm sorry. This thing keeps uploading. I apologize. He said, on him specifically to this point for a brief second, I saw OVW officials running from the back, but assumed it was for the chaos that had just happened outside the ring. I go to move him and scooted him with my foot, as I usually would, not realizing the severity of what was going on in that moment. I was under the impression everything was going according to plan. I then did the next spot and turned to find many people in the ring huddled around Dallas, and stopped in my tracks, confused, scared, and worried for my friend. Had I known in that split second moment that when I moved him that something was wrong, I would have immediately stopped and tended him as best I knew how. I wish I had known the severity of the situation. Nothing is more important in pro wrestling than the safety of all involved. Dallas and I have spoken. We are good. We understand there was no malicious intent. And per Dallas, he doesn't hold it to any of us personally. And then he goes on to wish him a speedy and full recovery. So
I'm gonna tell you something. I appreciate the guy apologizing and explaining his point of view, but that doesn't justify his actions. His actions were wrong. I think, even though he goes and he says,
but
"Hey,"
you also have to understand, and again, I'm not saying that I agree. He was in the wrong. But when you're in there and you have the adrenaline rush, you have the other stuff. And again, I don't know. I didn't watch everything where he's at. If his normal thing is to pick him up, scoot him up out of the way, again, not saying anything right, but again, if you're going as the performer, at some point, though, you have to notice a little bit more of your surroundings. And again,
100%.
I was fortunate to never be put in that situation, but I can also understand as you're in the moment and you're, thinking of the next thing that you're supposed to be doing, sometimes things in the split second will not register.
I will tell you something, Sean. last week on Monday when I got hit on my forehead, and it was because my friend who was defending ran, and it was one on one with me and the other guy, and I went to go. You guys know I play goalie as a soccer, so I grabbed the ball, and my friend who's the defender kind of shoves him, pushes him right that way he could kind of not get a clear kick on the ball. So he loses control and he hits me on my forehead, and I get this huge hematoma right here. I go down immediately. I will say this: there was maybe one or two people back. I could hear them because I was out. I was like holding. I was on the ground holding my head, saying, "Oh my god, I got hit really hard." I knew where I was. I didn't get a concussion or anything like that, but I did hear one of them say, "Hey, hey, Frankie, get up," which I understand 100% what you're saying. Whereas sometimes people just assume, "Hey, look, no harm, no foul. This happens. This is what this is the sport that we're in, right? You're in a wrestling ring. This could happen, but it's never gone to this severe. And like you said, thankfully in your career, you never experienced that. I've never been in a wrestling ring that I could say that has ever happened to me. It happened to me at the soccer where I was hit. Thankfully, I didn't get any seizures or anything like that. But there's 12 of us on the field. Out of the 12, I will say 9 of them, 9 or 10 of them said, "Yo, what's up with Frankie?" Yo, like they ran up to me to help me. While the other 2 said, "Hey," I don't know who they were. They were like, "Hey, tell Frankie to get up. He's fine." Not knowing the severity of my injury. So again,
Yeah,
I'm
but
not gonna,
again, this is the only thing I'll say about that part of it is this. In your situation, the plan wasn't for him to get hit and his knee to hit your head. So it was supposed to happen. This was a planned part of the match for him to take the bump.
but in soccer, when you're playing like that, I have gotten hit to the point where I've gone down, but I've been able to bounce back up. And
No, I get that. But again, it's something that's not planned.
so
So
okay,
it will catch other people to be like, hey, is Frankie okay? That wasn't supposed to happen. In a match, that was the plan for that to happen.
but here's the thing.
And again, I'm not saying it's right. What I'm trying to say is the reason everybody's going to attend right away to you getting the knee to the head is the fact that
It wasn't planned.
that wasn't supposed to happen. And now Frankie's on the ground. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like that. Whereas if they know, oh, Frankie's taking a knee to the head right now, and now you go down, maybe they're not as quick to go, Frankie, no, it's okay. It's what's supposed to happen.
Fair,
You know what I'm
fair
saying?
enough.
And again, I am not saying any of this was right, but again, it's just the fact that you have an understanding of what's supposed to happen, how it's supposed to look, and how it looks.
And
So
that's why initially when the bump happened to Dallas Edwards, I could understand the guys. I could understand the guy who did the bump on him get up and kind of check on them, and like you said, he does try to talk to him. My concern is, or when I feel like, hey, people have dropped the ball, or I guess you could say like you need to be able, and I know it's hard because it's at the heat of the moment. You need to be able to separate um, the wrestling from reality. Is when the second guy picks him up and just moves him. That is the part that I said, man, you need to separate that, bro. Because unfortunately, literally, if you look at the video, guys, the guy's having a seizure. The guy's hand is up. The guy's twitching like crazy, and this guy just picks him up like he's a rag doll.
no, that's what I'm saying though. Is like I don't know how he normally would sell. And again, I'm not saying all of it's wrong. Once the guy goes down and again from the video, if you watch it, you can tell he's locked up and then he starts seizing. Right there, there's 12 people in the match. Somebody's got to be like, okay, this is no longer the match. This is somebody's, health and do that. Whereas normally the ref would be the one that's in control of that.
Yeah.
So at that point, you have to have somebody else designated where if something goes wrong to make that call. And that's where, and again, I don't know the experience level of everybody involved, but again, you would hope that as human beings, you're just like, that's not supposed to be happening. We need to make sure he gets help. So, I'm just trying to say that from my time in the ring, I do understand how you get the adrenaline rush and you may think that it's part of the match. Not saying that, again, if I picked him up and moved him, it'd be wrong too. But I do understand the thinking of it when you're going through all the parts of the match. But again, I watched it and you see the first guy try to I don't know if he was doing the whole selling thing by trying to talk to him to make sure he was okay before he got thrown out of the ring or not. But you could tell that he seems to look like maybe wrong. Something might not be right. Yeah.
Yeah. That first guy, you could tell that he's realizing, he's like, oh crap. The second guy is when I'm like, damn, that guy made a huge bad call and just didn't.
Yeah, but and again, no, but the call should have been made way before the second guy got there. He's already in the ring for 20 seconds before the guy even slides him out of the ring. And the only reason he really slid him out was because the spot was supposed to happen right on top of the ref.
Yeah.
They would have bumped where he was.
Yeah, it would
have
been.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, at that point, you got to, Frankie, I got some bad news for you about Dynamite tonight.
What happened?
Again, I know this is from WrestleTix, and they're not AEW or WWE. They're kind of right down the middle. Darby Allin challenges MJF, and it got zero reaction. Although he said even Swerve's introduction, not much, and some are saying it might be the crowd. So we'll see. It's happened in WWE as well. That one crowd they had where it was just terrible. But Frankie, let them know where they can see you, my man.
Again, like I said earlier, Fresco Music. You could catch me on all social media platforms. Squared Circle Digest. We usually do it on Tuesdays. Today we did it on Wednesday. And then obviously, if you want to tune in and check me out, I also DJ around South Florida. So just follow me on my social media platform on Fresco, Frezko. And don't forget to follow my friend Sean Stanley. We both work together. We both want to grow the channel. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, and tune in next week when we come back for another show.
You can check me out, SS_Sports Talk on X, Stanley Media House everywhere else, Stanley Media House Network on YouTube. Want to thank No Doubt. Eric Murias was in as well. We had Tony was in, I believe. I saw him once.
Oh, I didn't even see him. Oscar
C was in. Adrian was in. Grayson Gregory, appreciate you. That's a new name. Appreciate having you in. Sneak Attack 305 was in as well.
I know Sneak Attack was there.
Yeah, he snuck in on us. He snuck in. That guy. Rydery24, appreciate you. That's a new name as well. Hope you come back and join us on the channel. Papa, appreciate you as well for tuning in. Want to thank each and every one of you that was on. If you're on X, don't forget, jump over to one of the two YouTube channels. Jump over to both of them, actually. Hit that subscribe, hit the follow, hit the notifications. Frankie Fresco or Stanley Media House and Stanley Media House Network. Until next week, in the words of the great Gordon Soley. Oh, somebody just popped up.
Who?
Oh, he said, I saw it and the silence seemed on point. Yeah. Talking about the video. In the words of the great Gordon Soley, so long from the sun. Shine. Stay.
The Squared Circle Digest! The Squared Circle Digest!